Well, hey guys, hope you enjoyed class today. I did. It was nice to have everybody back after Christmas holiday and the New Year. So I want to talk a little bit more about the game that we're playing with the class and let you know that the first place you start every week with your assignments is our Emerge website. So start there first, and then if I have things for you to do on the Classcraft website, I will direct you to that site. But start here each week. One of the things you may find when you go into the game website is I've set up two different what were called sections in the in part of the website, and one of those is for homework and another one of those is for discussion. So you would click on the homework side, and then that would be listed by weeks. So week 14, week 15 will be next week, 16, etc. So whichever week we're working on, then you go to that week. And I will probably have initially the assignments both on the Emerge website and on the game website so that you won't be confused about what you need to do. So be sure to check that out. One of the things that I will sometimes have you do from week to week is actually talk to each other on the discussion board on the game website, and I'll have some directions for you there. So just be aware that when you go to the game website as part of your homework, that could be some of the stuff that you're asked to do once you're there. Another thing that you might be asked to do is to actually submit an assignment on the game website. And you will be given points for turning it in early, and you will also be given points if you turn it in on time. And if you don't turn it in on time, then you will not receive any points at all. And I will talk to you a little bit later about how to submit your assignment on that game web page. So just be aware that those are some things that are coming your way. What I'd like to focus on for this podcast and the assignment this week is to talk about writing a lab report. To this point, we've only been taking notes in our notebook. We haven't officially written a report on the investigations that we've done in class. So let me talk to you about how to write an investigation or a lab report. So when you write a lab report, I want you to include these items right here. You'll have a title. You'll have an introductory paragraph that gives the background around what the investigation was. You will have a paragraph that talks about the results or the conclusion of the investigation. I would like you to have another paragraph where you talk about the science and engineering practices and the cross-cutting concepts that you used in that investigation. And then, if appropriate, you might be asked to submit a graph along with the report. So here's an example of what that might look like. You'll start off with a title. I just made this up, but this would be maybe called the paper car investigation. And then it will have a paragraph that gives the background information about that investigation. Remember that in English, when I used to teach English, and since I'm doing this, I'm in a sense teaching English to you right now and writing. When you write, you need to have a topic paragraph that introduces all the information about that paragraph, and then you need 4 to 5 detailed sentences. So 2 sentences doesn't work. That's not a paragraph. 3 sentences is also not enough. You need to have a topic sentence that explains what that paragraph is about, and then you have 4 to 5 detailed sentences. So what you see in front of you is an example of that, and this was probably not the best example. I just made it up as I went along. But it says the purpose of this investigation was to design and make a paper car capable of obtaining the fastest speed possible down a rain gutter track. That's the topic sentence. So everything else I read about in that paragraph should talk about the investigation, a paper car, going fast, and having a track and all of that. So then one of the detailed sentences would be the next sentence, which says we were limited to only paper, glue, and either wood, plastic, or metal for the axle. That's more detail about designing and making a paper car. The next sentence says wheels were made of paper, as was the body of the car. More detail. We were given time to design, build, and test our cars. Based on the test results, we were able to make design changes. On the day of the race, each car was raced twice, and the fastest time was recorded. So that's a fairly decent introductory paragraph that explains what the investigation was about. So that's the first paragraph. Notice that it's indented, it's got a period at the end of each sentence, words are spelled correctly, and I'll talk more about that in just a minute. The second paragraph is where you discuss the conclusion or the results of the investigation. Again, I just made this up. This one happens to be for chemistry, but it says the results of the calcium chloride baking soda indicator investigation were that a chemical reaction took place. So that's the topic sentence, telling what the results were. Evidence for this included the carbon dioxide gas that was created, heat from the reaction, and color changes from the universal indicator. Those are only 2 sentences. Then I said blah, blah, blah. You cannot write blah, 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 because what you will write in that place are the other detailed sentences that would tell more about the results or the conclusion of the investigation. Again, each paragraph needs to have a topic sentence and between 4 to 5 or more detailed sentences. All right? Then you'll write a third paragraph which talks about science and engineering practices and the cross-cutting concepts that you used in the investigation. Here's an example that you can see right here. Science and engineering practices used in this investigation included planning and carrying out an investigation, obtaining, evaluating, and communicating information, and asking questions. And then the cross-cutting concept that we focused on was energy and matter. And again, blah, blah, blah. You need more details to fully explain the cross-cutting concepts and the science and engineering practices that were utilized in that investigation. It's important, extremely important, when you write something that is considered formal, and that's what this is, because other people will read it, that you have correct grammar, correct spelling, and correct punctuation. In my mind, one of the better ways to do that is to word process it. Do it on the computer. The computer will help you with spelling errors, things like that. Don't fully trust the computer, however, because it is possible that you've told the computer that a certain word is spelled a certain way when that's really wrong. So have somebody maybe read your material before you turn it in, double check your spelling, things like that. Then I will grade each of those items, giving each item 20 points. So when it's all said and done, each of the reports that you turn in will be worth 100 points. Then you may be asked to post it or send it to me through the game website. There will be a link available to you if I'm asking you to send it to me through the game website. So you can do your writing on your computer, save the file, give it a name like Jaden's paper, and then you can link it to the post that you're going to submit. Or the other option is you might be given a text box, and if you want to just type it all out inside that text box, you could do it. But again, remember proper spelling, punctuation, grammar, or it's possible you could actually do it on your word processor, copy all of it, and then paste it in that text box on the game website. All right? Your assignment this week is to revisit the investigation that your class did last week in class and write a lab report, and I would like it submitted on the game website. And there's some other reading assignments and things like that go along with it. All right, so we'll see how that goes the first time around. If anybody has any questions or problems with the game website or anything else, just drop me an email and we can get that figured out this week. All right, thanks. I'll see you later.